like how I'm just messing around with the computer that's in your lap. I'm just like, hey, Austin. Like, you could literally be doing all of this, but I'm reaching
but
over.
you already did it. You were in the process.
I'm just like, hey, Austin.
Hi.
I'm trying to give it like a reach around, like, give you help.
Galo reach around.
That's my favorite Galo.
The sex box.
Sex box 330.
The X-Bone. Isn't there a new Halo coming out?
Halo 5.
Halo 5?
Electro Boogaloo.
Galo.
5.
Galo,
Galo 5.
There's nothing for that. I like, I think,
No 4.
so me and my old D&D group, for those who don't know Dungeons and Dragons,
Yes.
Who doesn't?
we had a guy in the group named Bittner.
I thought it was Dumb and Dumb.
What? Oh,
What?
oh, well,
Dumb and Dumb.
well played, sir.
Wow.
No, so his name was Bittner. I don't remember how this came about, but we came up with a fake porn series called Professor Buttner.
That's right, you told me about this.
And we would just, like, go on for at least, like, a half hour coming up with Professor Buttner stories. Like, Professor Buttner 7. Oh, that's the one with special guest Oprah Winfrey, right? And now we just got flagged because we mentioned Oprah Winfrey. And
Have
then,
we started?
like, yeah, well, we're
Oh,
just doing whatever.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
But then there was like, oh yeah, then there's the silent movie. Yeah, that was Professor Buttner 3. That was more of its experimental phase where, you know, moans would just appear in text and like the screen would disappear for a bit.
My goodness. The screen. The whole screen's gone.
And all the music was done by live accompaniment.
That'd be interesting if you just replaced, if it was like silent, but you replaced the text or anything like that with like changing color.
The
Very
new Professor
experimental.
Buttner, I guess, is going to be animated by Hayao Miyazaki.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. With special guest Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
He is playing.
Hey, how you doing?
That was pretty good. He's playing a very special part as Danny Dorito.
Okay, I can see it.
It's
What flavor Dorito? Danny flavor?
Cool Ranch stuff.
DeVito?
yeah, like it's cool.
That's just like nacho
And like
cheese.
it's just like he's a really weird Dorito that's covered in grease and like hair. Because that's kind of what I imagine when I was watching the Lorax. I couldn't look at the Lorax as like a fluffy, cute thing.
I've never seen it.
Well, you know the Lorax at least, though.
Oh, I
right?
know him. Yeah.
He just looked greasy to me because I knew that he was voiced by Danny DeVito, who I mostly know from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and constantly looks like he like took a bath in grease.
He was, yeah. Well, I mean, that's his character. He was Phil in Hercules,
Oh yeah,
Is he
yeah,
really?
and he was the Penguin in Tim Burton's Batman.
yeah. That one was a little weird. Like he shows up on a lot of
A
stuff,
little.
but like
He was good.
yeah,
was the
he's
Penguin.
always good. I always like Danny
Yeah.
DeVito. He looks like a greasy little man, and like everything I see him in.
Oh,
I
he
just,
was in the Twins movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger,
what?
where they're like,
No.
No.
was it fraternal twins, where
God,
they're
God,
like born
God.
the same time, but then they don't look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was his twin. It's
What?
Danny, I would like to go to the park with you. What, nothing to that?
Oh.
You did like a Danny DeVito thing. And
All
then just
right,
stopped.
let's go, Arnold.
Okay.
I like to skip in the daisies.
Only if we can ride your tank.
Is that a sexual euphemism?
Twinsy.
Back off, Governor.
I am sad that animated series never happened.
Governor.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
he
yeah.
was legit going to make animated series called The Governor. And there was a trailer where like bank robbers ran out of a bank with like money bags with like the dollar sign on the side.
Oh my gosh.
And I
Of
was
course.
like, oh man, I haven't seen that gag for like 15
Ever.
years. And then, you know, he is no longer governor, so I guess they just canceled that whole project.
People aren't going to forget that he was governor for a long time.
Oh god, yeah.
So,
He was governor of great state of California.
yeah, it's like
Great.
what
Great.
something people remember about Ronald Reagan. Well, he was a movie star before
He was a president? No.
Oh, yeah. Who?
I don't know a movie that Ronald Reagan was in.
don't
I know he was an
remember.
actor and a movie star, but like I actually don't know. See, there, you know, I'm
I've never
really.
seen this stuff. I don't remember it.
I know now. People know how young I am. What was it?
But you sound so sexy. How can you be so
Thanks,
young but sound so sexy?
Thanks, baby.
No problem.
Well, so... All right, let's just introduce ourselves. I
I'll
am
stop
Robert
this.
Lauer. I am a sophomore at the Cleveland Institute of Art.
I'm Austin Haller. I am also a sophomore at the Cleveland Institute of Art.
I'm Colin, and they said what I say.
So, it's been only us on the show so far, like sophomores, but that's because juniors and seniors are
Aren't
very...
cool enough.
Oh.
Oh, no, sorry, no.
That's okay. They don't listen to us anyway.
Yeah.
We could talk shit about all of them, and none of them would ever know.
Man, that
Probably.
Billy, jeez.
But
Billy?
one of our teachers probably would.
Yeah, he'd probably be like, okay, guys, don't talk like that about your classmates.
At least give them
so
like
just-
code names.
Yeah.
Billy.
Okay, so...
What about Billy?
Yeah, Billy is, his codename's Bobby. Man, that Bobby's just a jerk.
Dude, Bobby sucks at everything he does. But yeah, we want to possibly. It's also just like fitting schedule wise in. Everything's busy and getting the sound recording studio and everything.
Right.
But I'd like to get like a incoming freshman on the show and see what they think, because at CIA we do something called the foundation year, where you don't do anything in game design really.
Well, I just saw the head of our department, who I will not name, because I don't know if we're allowed to, but I saw him earlier, and he was talking about the game design freshmen and the animation freshmen coming in for next year. And he said that there were 18 that wanted to be in game design and 40,
Wow.
Jeez.
40 for animation. He said they can only do half of each.
Wow.
Oh my
I was
god.
like, wow. And he said that there was a lot of good ones for each of them. So maybe after they've decided that, we can ask him about have him help us find a freshman to come in and help, or two, or whatever.
We I think it's like the senior animation class is only 3 students, and our sophomore class is like 27.
I think it's more than 3.
It might be, but I know
Wait,
it's
did you
very
say animation
few
or game?
for animation.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
three.
small, and I mean both game design and animation are relatively like new majors. They used to be part of the same thing as far as I remember, but
Yeah, they sort of shared everything.
it's been more and more every year, and it's really cool to see all the animation students come in, especially now that we have to have 2 teachers for a lot of our classes, because one is not enough to critique 20 students in a day.
More than that.
More than that, because we mix into a lot of the animation classes where they do big critiques.
Fun stuff.
Right.
But anyway, it's been a while. We went on spring break and everything. I was going to say, how did everybody enjoy their spring, quotes, break?
Quotes.
I forgot to put the
Quote
beginning
around
quotes.
the break.
Yeah.
Well, was
Yeah.
it not a break?
It wasn't a break for me.
Oh.
If we establish a new definition for break, then it might be more accurate.
That was the most irritating thing about high school, was they say like Christmas break or winter break, and then they assign you like a huge book report. What
Yeah.
part of that is a break or a vacation? And it wouldn't be just the one class, because there would always be the one class and the teacher who thinks like, they don't got much going on, they can do a small book report. But that's what every teacher was thinking. So you had like 3 book reports to do before you came back.
Yeah.
They didn't really do that at my school much.
Well,
So, lucky me, I guess.
I had a lot of that, and it was always really irritating. Like they gave us a 1,400-page book for
Oh my.
for AP Euro, and to read it and do 6-page report. And I'm just remembering that was really stressful, because it's not 4 weeks like in college. It was only 2 weeks
Right.
for winter
like two,
break?
2.5.
for winter break. Yeah.
Jeez.
So that was really stressful. And the same with like spring break. They wouldn't do it as much because it was only a week, but they would still do it. So how about you, Colin? What did you do over spring break?
Went back, visited my family.
Colin has a family.
Yeah, weird, right?
I
It's
visited his
crazy.
family too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, my spring break was the week before everyone else's spring break. Like, all my friends and stuff.
I had the same problem. I
Oh.
wanted to see my partner, and we didn't get to spend as much time together because her break is next week.
Did you really use the
Yeah.
word partner?
I don't like. After a certain point, I don't like saying girlfriend.
I don't like saying partner.
Oh, fine.
It makes
Well-
it sound more intimate and
Well,
Personal.
a lot of people end up, mistaking because it still hasn't changed, mistaking me for homosexual.
well then.
Um,
You're not? Just kidding. I
What?
know.
But I started picking it up after a sociology professor of mine started saying it, and I was realizing after dating someone for more than a year, girlfriend just kind of sounds shallow for some reason.
Too loose.
Oh.
You know what I mean? We've been together for so long, I kind of feel like girlfriend is too shallow.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm just being pretentious, but
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Can-
I don't worry about that
Eh,
much. I'm like, I just
but
call them by their name.
I usually say my partner, she and I, because I always have to add like the
Yeah,
female
you have to make sure they know.
noun
And
afterwards.
then if you say girlfriend, people won't make that
I know,
mistake.
but
Like, it could be a dog.
Don't.
Nobody
My
wants
D&D
your dog
group
on their
again. One of their dogs has the same name as my girlfriend. So every time I bring her up, they're like, "What were you doing with his dog? You're so sick."
Your girlfriend's named Sparky?
Spot, but
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
but continue with your break story.
Oh yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah. I played some Yu-Gi-Oh. I know you. Bobby doesn't like Yu-Gi-Oh. But
Someone gave the argument once when we were comparing Yu-Gi-Oh to Magic. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh's better because it has bigger numbers,
That's dumb.
and that's when I stopped arguing with them because I was just like, anything you say past this point is just going to be invalid by that
I've officially
statement.
stopped listening.
yeah. But I also visited my high school. They had their show, their musical, which they did Hairspray, and they did a great job at that.
I love Hairspray. I did
great
the set
musical.
design for my high school's Hairspray play, and that was a lot of fun, especially because I only worked on certain parts of it, so I never saw like one half of the play. I was working on like a prison cage, the giant Hairspray can, like some stairs and a turnaround, but I never saw the other end of the turnaround half the time.
That's fun.
So when the play finally released, it was just like, whoa, where'd that come from? I don't remember doing that.
So that was a majority of what I did.
Any games?
Any games that I played?
Yeah. Did you have time to play games?
Well, I didn't have my computer or my Xbox, so I just sort of. Well, yeah. Plus, my mom's computer's there, but she has the administrator's password, and I couldn't download Steam or anything, and I didn't want to ask, and it's like, well, So I basically just surfed the web and watched YouTube videos.
Wow. It was one of our classes recently. We were just talking about no one uses the word surf when talking about the web anymore, and I am like, it died out like 5 years ago. I mean, I still hear it occasionally, but
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
I,
mean,
feel like
yeah.
I feel like that's the best way to verbalize doing that.
well, I think it's the best way because people used to use it more casually. Like, I'm surfing the web at work or something. Surfing the web to me seems like you're bored and you're exploring the internet, like Wikipedia pages on and on. I used to do that in IT.
Really?
Yeah, IT, we wouldn't really do much.
Mhm.
So I would just pick a random Wikipedia page and like go from hyperlink to hyperlink and just learn stuff. I went from like Bruce Lee to I went from the Monkey King.
The Monkey King?
Yeah, it's an old
Oh,
Chinese.
the Wikipedia game?
You ever played
Oh
it?
well, yeah, that one. How many? It's something clicks to Hitler.
Well, it's just like
No, it's just you try to get
Well,
from one thing to
well,
another. by
yeah.
just using
When
the
I played,
links.
you all start at the same page and you have to end at the same page. And whoever gets there first wins.
And sometimes they do it with like the fewest links
Yeah, that's it.
clicked as well.
Someone was bringing that up for the gamification of education, like doing that for an actual school project to get people wanting to research and learn things. And I kind of agree with that because I feel like I'd be more motivated to learn things on my own rather than have someone lecture me.
Yeah.
At least in
Yeah, I
high
bet.
school.
Oh yeah.
For like a certain project, or like if it was just one project, get from the Monarch butterfly to World War II tanks, go, write something on every page you go through, so like they're not just
Oh my
trying
gosh.
to click hyperlink to hyperlink, so they actually kind of research things. I don't know.
They still want to figure out the shortest path. So they have to,
Well,
they have to
then
ride
they're
as much.
strategizing and they're actually having fun at that point. If they're making a game out of it, you know, if they're having fun, and it feels more rewarding to learn that way rather than have someone lecture at you.
Yeah.
All right. How about you, Austin?
I didn't do much. I stayed here. I was planning on going to New Orleans, but I had work to do and money was a problem, so I just stayed here. I didn't play games that much. I played Shadow of Mordor.
How was that? It won a whole bunch of awards, I think.
Yeah, my roommate has it, and he was gone, and I had started it before, so I finished that. It was very reminiscent of like Batman, Arkham games, and Assassin's Creed.
Which got pushed back again.
Yeah,
I'm fine with
Whatever.
being pushed back as long as
No,
the game's great.
I am too. Wait, for free. Oh, great. I thought you said free.
No, not
As long
free.
as it's
Oh,
free.
as long as it's free, I don't care.
Yeah,
No,
push
no.
it back 20 years.
it's like pizza delivery. It's been 30 years. I'm not paying for this.
I mean, I'd rather have a game come out with like less bugs and better developed.
Ubisoft.
yeah.
Me too. I didn't play the last Batman. The last one I played was City, which
Yeah.
I still love.
That's good.
I still consider it a trilogy because that was just sort of like that wasn't even Rocksteady. That was just
Arkham Origins.
Arkham Origins. Yeah, it wasn't Rocksteady. It
Really?
was- they just threw it in there to like sort of divide up the time between each game, you know, so it wasn't such a huge difference.
Yeah.
Plus money.
Pretty much. It's like what Nintendo does when they're making something and you know they're making something, like the next Zelda, but then they just, like, to fill in that time, they just make, remakes like Majora's Mask 3D, which everybody wanted.
Yeah,
and I wanted.
everybody really wanted that one, though.
Yeah, but, like, they do that with Mario and other stuff where they just fill in that time from a new game to just report or renew.
I don't know
Old
how.
stuff.
I don't really like that, though. The games lose their soul, and then I just get worn out before the new one comes out.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, this is what I have now, and I like having the new system and still being able to play the old stuff. But, like, when they have it for 3DS and Wii U, I mean, I only need it for one. I don't really care if they keep making them, because I've already got it.
It's like they're throwing a whole bunch of, like, junk food and snacks in your face before they serve you dessert. Like, in between desserts, they're just throwing chips and pretzels.
Cramming it down your throat.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, here's your next piece of cake, and I don't want it.
Stop.
I will say
That's me.
like, half the time when they come out with that dessert and the game that everybody's really waiting for, I think it's pretty great.
Yeah, I'm like Mario 3D World, the Wii U one.
Yeah.
I actually haven't gotten a chance to really play it. All I've heard is that it's amazing. I've looked at it, and I really want to play it when I get time. When I get time, I am going to really play that game.
Oh, okay. Metroid. You know how they had their 25th anniversary, like, about the same time Zelda did? And, like, when Zelda had their 25th anniversary,
They came out. Yeah, they came out the same year.
Yeah.
1988.
87, 88.
1988. Zelda, Punch-Out, and Metroid were like the three big games.
Right.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out had that.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's your favorite flower?
Mine's
Mine's
chocolate.
What's your favorite kind of flower, Matt? Mine's chocolate.
Best line ever.
Yeah. But yeah, Metroid had the same anniversary, and like when Zelda's anniversary came up, they played it off totally with like they had Skyward Sword, and even in the game they were like, it's Zelda's 25th anniversary at the very beginning of the game, and I'm like, okay, and then in game it's like, this is the 25th anniversary of our Knights Academy, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I get it.
Like beating a dead horse.
Yeah, and then like they had the symphony orchestra go on tour everywhere, which was awesome. I haven't been to it, but I got the CD, and like they're on tour again for whatever. But like I constantly see things about Metroid. Like I saw this picture of Link and all these other Nintendo characters, and he's got like this giant birthday cake and it says 25. And there's like another picture, and Samus is just sitting in her huge armor with like a tiny little party hat and this little cupcake that's shaped like a Metroid.
Aww.
And she's all alone in this dark room, and I'm like, no. But yeah, people have been waiting for a new Metroid, and I saw something in the magazine, and they're calling it Metroid. I don't know what it is.
The
Metroid.
last M.
Yeah, the game. But yeah, the new Metroid. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I looked and it said it was being made by Nintendo, and it looks like Doom. It looks exactly like Doom.
Same
Like-
graphics.
And I saw, yeah.
It's literally they're just
You
selling
kidding?
Doom.
I'll show you right now. But they said that Nintendo said they were trying to do bring back the 2D Metroid
Mm-hmm.
style, but the image was Doom. I don't know if that was serious. It was kind of funny because it was like exactly the same, but Metroid.
I've
looking.
never messed around with this. I hope we're still recording as you're on the internet.
I'm sure we are.
Let's find out.
Look, we are.
Oh, neat. Or did it resume? I guess we'll find out when I'm
Oh,
editing
okay.
this.
I'll show you right now. It was called Metroid Dreadnought. I don't think
Metroid Dreadlocks.
that image I saw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, look, this is Doom.
That,
It's better graphics.
I swear to God, that better not. No, like, look at the edges. I swear to God,
Yeah.
this better be
Man,
like
I'm sure the audience
joke
is
thing.
loving all these pictures and
I
stuff.
don't know. These aren't the images, but like the one I saw in the magazine, it was basically like this, where it was like Metroid up here, but down here it's exactly the same as Doom stuff. As far as like the health and ammo and yada yada. But if this isn't what it looks like that's not bringing back 2D. It's like making everything look quote 2D and putting it in a 3D environment kind of thing, like Doom. Yeah. But that's dumb.
Now I gotta remember to put in I have to make sure I put images in this one.
Or just cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cut that out.
Okay.
If you want to look it up, go look
Yeah.
at Metroid Dreadnought.
Or I'll
Dreadlock.
put it in. We'll see what happens. And if I did put it in, what I'm saying right now doesn't have an impact. So what else did you do over break?
Besides playing Mordor, which was pretty good, it looked great. It played great. It was cool because I love Lord of the Rings.
Nerd.
Yeah, I know, total nerd. But other than that, it was like just sort of trying to do what I wanted, like read. But I was doing a lot of our schoolwork. Excuse me.
I was calling you a nerd.
Yeah, I know.
Nerd.
Reading word books.
Word books.
I listen to my books.
Yes, I know. But yeah, I just worked mostly on our stuff for school.
Yeah. That's about what I did. I also visited my high school over break, but I did so my high school had a class for the senior art students that was called Research and Analysis, and you go through music and movies and the history and how to analyze them as art forms. And now that video games are considered an art form, and my teacher knows nothing about them, she always hires me to come in and do like a lecture on video game history and game theory, and then how to analyze them as an art form. So I did that, and I restructured my lesson plan because I've been doing this for a few years, and I ended up putting a lot more time into this than I probably should have, to make sure things were like really good. And I was happy to find out one of the students is planning to come here to CIA for game design, which was really neat. So hopefully I'll see her next semester.
One of us.
One of us. One of us. Welcome to hell.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Say goodbye to your life.
Ah,
Game design has a lot of work.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Living in windowless rooms.
I ended up playing
Not for long.
I ended up. I
When
don't
we
know.
get moved to the new space, we're gonna be closest to the windows.
Really?
Yeah, closer than
But
everybody else. I'm like,
Game design people don't like Windows. Also, we
Yeah.
work on computers all the time. Are we gonna get a crap ton of glare?
I would hope not.
Ugh.
Don't like what they're
Well, I
doing.
mean,
with this.
our computers won't be in that room with it, but if we have laptops, yeah.
I just gave like such a scowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We
angry.
don't
I
get
spent-
computers, yeah.
I bought a game right before break because I just wanted to try it. Final Fantasy Tactics A2 Grimoire of the Rift on the DS. And
Say that 5 times fast.
I can't say it one time
I
fast.
didn't understand what you said the first time.
Final Fantasy Tactics DS. Let's just go with that. It's pretty fun. I have sank like 40 hours into it, so something's keeping me coming back. I can't tell if it's good or not. But one thing, okay, first of all, the thing it does that automatically annoyed me was I can't name all my characters. You can only name like the 4 main characters in the game, but the game is all about like hiring units to, you know, work for you and fight for you and everything, and you can't name them, and that's irritating.
It's kind of fun doing that.
I mean, Disgaea, it's the same kind of style as Disgaea where, you know, you take turns on a, like, square grid and attack and everything like that. But I wanted to try because they have a law system where every battle you go into, there's a law or a rule that changes the flow of battle, like, no ranged weapons. If you use ranged weapons, you don't get this privilege, and you can't revive any units that died while in battle. So it can make it difficult, and there are some battles where they like actually go out of their way to make sure like you break the rule to make it more difficult. And then there are some like you're on one end of the board, and the person you're trying to protect is on the other end, surrounded by enemies, and it says no ranged weapons. And so you just have to like pick your fastest characters to get over there. It's pretty fun. There's a lot of classes. There's some weird mini games for like auctioning. Like you can buy territories for control, and the only purpose I see in that is it's like, oh, you get a 20% discount on these things. It's like that's not much for what I'm actually buying. And then if you control all the areas in that like region, you can then go to the auction house once every year to play the mini game to get items. And
how often does a year go by?
You can actually just go to a hut and just sleep a year, and like there's no penalty for it. So you could really just go back to the hut like 8 times and do that until all the best items come out.
Extreme hibernation.
Pretty much, and I don't know about that. Also, okay, do we have no sound there?
No, I turned the sound off.
Okay. That works.
Are we sure it's recording at the same time?
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Okay.
Yes.
How sure are we?
Well, here's the game.
Give me a scale, like on a scale of red to blue.
Okay, look at this.
Oh, I see.
There's the game, and there's a little window of us still talking, and it's still picking up exactly when we talk.
I don't believe you. Oh, okay.
Oh, you only believe it when you see it.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that makes sense.
Have you played this yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I played this. I didn't
Also,
play it, like,
I just
all the
realized
way.
you're wearing my least favorite color, teal.
Yeah.
That was me the first
Just for
time.
you.
Yeah, I hate teal. Other than that, I actually wanted to bring up the so. What kind of games do you guys like to play the most?
Like
Good
genre?
question.
Yeah, Colin, I see you playing a lot of strategy games.
Yeah, I do enjoy strategy a lot.
You
I
ju-
also like first person, and
You just started up Faster Than Light,
I
FTL.
can't stop. I just
Can't stop,
put it
won't
down.
stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. I was playing it right before we started recording.
You
and
were playing it
everything.
while we were recording.
You were testing. It was just testing sound. At least that's what I thought you were doing.
Yeah, I bought that game, and we were playing it on the iPad, which I actually like a lot more than the desktop version. I feel like it's
Easier to access things.
Yeah, it's really easy to access, and those are the kind of games I like on the iPad. It's a port that really works.
Mhm.
It's really satisfying to draw the lines
Mhm.
and target things when it's like you're dragging it with your finger rather than with a mouse and going back and forth. It's also like nice. I've listened to music or podcasts and books while playing the game. FTL, for people who don't know, is a
Faster Than Light.
it's a space combat game, not like Eve, but more. You control the members of a ship and you go through sector to sector. Oh, it's a roguelike, and roguelikes are randomly generated games. where when you die, you have to start all over again.
Mhm.
Other games like this are Binding of Isaac, Rogue Legacy, and Rogue, which is why it's called roguelikes.
It's a very difficult game, and haven't beaten it yet.
It's really
Not
difficult.
meant to be beat.
They're really rewarding though. I really like roguelikes because it's a different experience every time you play it.
Yeah.
Like not completely different, but it can be. Like create those really stressful situations. You're running out of fuel. You're low on health.
Sort of like Oregon Trail a bit
Actually, yeah,
in that way.
Yeah.
But also with combat
that. But I really
in
space.
Space
space.
Wagons.
Space. Space.
Still
Space,
haven't
space.
played Portal 2.
I never played the multiplayer.
I played a little bit of the multiplayer actually, so I guess I can't say I've never played it.
I did really like Portal 2, but so you like first-person shooter things and strategy games.
I like a variety actually, because it I like Batman and everything like that.
Do
But
you
I
have a
also-
top 5?
Top 5?
Can you actually name
For
like
video
your,
games?
like your top 5 favorite, not top 5 you think are best, but the ones that
jeez.
you think are your favorite? Because I always
Yeah.
have mine.
Because mine have changed so much since I started playing other things and everything.
Yeah, that happens.
'Cause,
And one of these days, I'm gonna get you to play all those N64 games and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
you've never played.
Yeah. But if I had a top 5, not in any order, probably have to be get the two obvious ones out of the way: Fallout and Broforce.
You and Broforce.
Broforce, man! Yeah! Brilliant
Yeah.
game.
I want to see Christopher Walken in that because he's not really a bro, but he's one of those characters people love to
Does he
do voices
action
for.
movies?
He's in Hairspray. Is that an action movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, his powers, he just sprays hairspray in people's faces.
he kind of looks like Frankenstein's monster.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
a little bit. I don't know if that would fit in the game though.
He's also in that music video from Fatboy Slim.
Okay, what?
Are these action movies?
No,
Why are we talking about?
I don't know. I just love to see the contrasting character. Like, what if he was the main villain secretly, just
Secretly.
Secretly, just.
yo motherfuckers, it was me all along.
Oh, you're gonna need a bleep there or something like that.
We are a college show.
Oh, okay.
And we're on the internet.
Hello, internet.
If this was radio.
Yeah. Or possible television. I don't
Third
know why we'd have a podcast on TV.
TV podcast, just static with our voices.
I like the rainbow screen better.
Ooh,
Or,
yes.
Or let's go
Beautiful.
classic with the Native American and the number.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that's called.
I don't
but-
know.
Okay, top 5. You
What are the
had
rest?
Fallout and Broforce.
Broforce. I also have I guess Fallout more of a series. I don't know. Can we count series instead of specific
Yeah.
games?
One of my games is more of a series
Yeah.
because they're very similar.
Yeah, I have trouble distinguishing, okay, in the series, this
But
is
you-
my favorite out of
You
it.
can't say all of Zelda is my favorite
Oh, no.
game.
Well, I've
mean-
never played a Zelda game.
I know,
so-
but
That's really hard.
that
for
kind of
me.
thing.
I
Yeah,
can't do
because
that.
those are two different.
Was that actually one of yours? All of Zelda?
I have a hard time picking favorites. I definitely can pick it out, but I love every Zelda. But I can still pick out my favorites.
All right.
Yeah, Batman, the Arkham games, Wasteland 2, because Wasteland 2.
What a waste of land.
What a waste of land, man. Jeez, what was that?
The fifth is always the hardest.
I usually have one, just set in my mind. I'm gonna think
It's-
of it later.
It's your least favorite.
It's my well,
I love
Maybe.
it more than anything except these 4.
oh, XCOM, that's what it is.
Yeah, XCOM is
that
pretty
was
great.
definitely. It's not my least favorite of them. I don't know. They're all pretty high ranked for.
I
me.
always have my top 5 ready because I always feel like with the top 5 you get a feel for what people like in
Mhm.
games, like what kind of things they like to experience while playing games, their
Yeah.
most memorable things.
Mhm.
So number 1 for me is Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie. And Tooie is really just an extension of Banjo-Kazooie in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. Then it's
Definitely.
Paper Mario on the N64. Absolutely loved it growing up. It's my most fond memory. After school, me and my friend and I would walk to his house, and
It's the internet. You don't have to worry about grammar.
yeah, it's not like we'll get crucified for it ever. we would walk to his house and take turns playing Paper Mario. And I remember my brother rented it, my older brother, and I couldn't get past the first boss when he rented it. And then he got stuck on
just that copy.
the 6th boss. And then I remember like beating the 6th boss at my friend's house, and how happy I was. I was like, I got further than my older brother, because he's like 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
I have so many fond memories of that game and all the wonder it like brought to me. Third favorite is Metal Gear Solid 3. It's such a well-crafted game. It's beautiful to play. There's so much depth in how much you can do everything, like approach every situation. You can kill a boss before you even actually encounter him.
Yeah.
Like you can like snipe him and then not have to fight him. And there's so many different ways to approach every situation. Number 4 is Mario Brothers 3, because that is like my favorite platformer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 5 is probably Half-Life 2. I love Half-Life, but I feel like I like Half-Life 2 better.
I gotta say, I haven't played any of those games.
I
on
know.
Your top 5
and
list.
I know you haven't. and
It's
that's
really bad.
I'm gonna get you to play them.
Yeah.
Especially, well, seeing I think the one out of the list that you'd like the most is Half-Life.
Maybe. I mean, I have played a little bit of Half-Life.
Half-Life 2 or Half-Life 1?
Both, I think. But Half-Life 2, I played a little bit of the beginning and just got really upset with the gun.
Really?
I was just like, I had to pick up things and then I have to
Darn!
shoot them. So inconvenient, and I kept missing, and it's like, well,
whose fault is
there
that?
goes that, and well, it was weird. It was
Well,
like the first time I had ever used it, and this was like way earlier on, so it was before I started getting good at games.
I'd say give it another shot sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I just say
I like to play all of them. So.
every now and then I play like Mario World with my mom,
Mhm.
because that's where like we used to play Super Nintendo together, and she's still like terrible at it after 20 years. It's still fun, like, and she gets really invested into like the emotional aspect of the game. So like the fish is swimming above her underwater. She's like, ah, no! Oh, damn it!
Oh gosh.
It's when she's playing Donkey Kong that's the best, because she always goes like, ooh, 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 no, ooh, ooh, and I'm just like, oh my god, don't become the monkey. Ooh, 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 ooh.
That's getting invested in your character.
Yeah.
Trying to make peace.
Role playing in a non-role playing game.
I gave you some time because I thought, I saw that you were having trouble. Do you have a top 5?
I definitely have some tops that are in the 5.
Like Dreidels?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm in my pocket here. Let's play.
Dreidel isn't a game. I'm sorry to break that to you. Wait, is Dreidel a game?
Yeah. Pretty sure it's a gambling game.
Cool!
I'm not
There
I'm not
you go.
Jewish though, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I just say card game.
What's
Man,
wrong with
quick.
what's wrong with that, huh?
What?
What's wrong with Jewish?
Nothing.
Is that what you're insinuating?
No, man.
But okay. Do you have a top 5?
Well, my top series of all time is The Legend of Zelda, for sure. If I had to pick my favorite completely, it'd probably be A Link to the Past.
That's my favorite Zelda.
Yeah, I definitely think, in my opinion, it's the best worked and
Another one you're
crafted.
gonna have to play, Colin, and I recently got a copy of it.
Yeah. Oh,
For
by
the-
the way,
for the
look out
Super
for our
Nintendo.
new Let's Play channel. Colin
yeah.
plays.
Oh yeah, you said
Where
you wanted
plays
to do a Let's
everything.
Play channel, Backseat Gaming.
That'll come around maybe one day when we have time.
I would love to do
Someday.
that. I would love to yell at you. Or
Well,
anybody.
I mean, I've played
But
a lot of
you-
games. It's mostly it'd be us yelling at Colin, who hasn't
yeah.
played anything.
Probably.
And
What the hell, Colin? Haven't you played this before?
No.
Well, what the hell?
Make a right, make a left. You fell in the pit. You died. You suck. I was following directions. Don't try to pin this on me.
That's the thing. I probably wouldn't follow the directions in the first place.
Just in spite.
Oh yeah. No. I like whenever someone is watching me play a game and they really want me to play that game and see my reaction to it and stuff. I always mess around and just like
Piss them off.
piss them off.
Like
'cause
Dead Space?
Dead Space, and one of my favorite ones was my friend. He showed me he had me play BioShock Infinite, and at the beginning you go up it's like 10 minutes, first 10, 15 minutes of the game. You go into the lighthouse, and you get shot up and everything into the city. But I spent like 45 minutes just messing around in the lighthouse.
I see that a lot with people, and I don't mind that, because the thing is, like, as much as I'd love to, like, yell at you and everything for comedic value, it's like, I really value when a person is genuinely exploring the game.
Oh no, I wasn't really genuinely exploring.
Well,
I
if you do, like, I'd like to see you figure things out for yourself rather than me, like, yell, like, you have to jump on his head. Like, and, like, I take that away from you. I think it'd be mostly me just yelling at you for sucking.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I probably wouldn't be much better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of a game I'm actually genuinely good at.
Like those moments where you're like, no, I'll show you how I do it, and this is the way to do it, and then you fuck up, and you're like, oh.
The only fighting game I'm good at is the Power Rangers fighting game on the Super Nintendo. That is how we used to determine who got the good seat.
The good seat for what?
Like, like where we used to play games, there was the one, like, really good chair, like, armrests and everything. It's like, who gets the armrest chair? Power Rangers battle me. And every now and then I'd screw people over by choosing the secret character, Ivan Ooze, who broke the game.
Secret character.
Yeah, you had to, like, hold start and up when selecting a character.
Oh, you jerk.
Yeah, and I was the only one who knew how to do it.
That one guy.
Except for my brother. But the thing is, my brother would always beat me that because there is an exploit to that character.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a block in a fighting game. So, like, all his attacks are ridiculous. But if you can just get in there and, like, mash him, you got him. Crap, I can't use that strategy anymore now. I just told the whole world.
Oh, no.
So what else?
The rest of yours, yes.
All right.
Getting off track all the time.
Yeah.
But we like to ride bikes.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, like I said, Link to the Past. But, I know a lot of people think that the 2D top-down Zeldas are better than the 3D for different reasons. But I still think the 3D definitely have stuff that 2D can't do. Like, as far as, cinematic quality and everything like that.
There's a lot more storytelling that's done well. Ocarina of Time, it's more about Link versus Ganon.
Yeah.
That's, like, the first time that's ever really done, and it's done amazingly, the power struggle between those two.
Yeah, I have a tough time choosing for a favorite 3D Zelda between Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess, because Twilight Princess, it brings back a lot of stuff from Ocarina of Time, which Ocarina of Time established a lot for Zelda, as far as, like, Ganondorf, not just, like, Ganon, like Ganondorf the person, and all this other things, and Twilight Princess has so many characters and story that I just absolutely love more than anything.
Good old Midna.
Yeah, Midna's my favorite character ever in anything.
She is amazing.
Yeah, she's great. Let's not talk about her and spoil anything for people.
Well, other than she's great.
Yeah, she's amazing. Believe me.
Unlike some certain blue character who
Cortana?
Sonic?
Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh my god, I would love to put him in, like, as Link's mentor character.
Oh no.
Like, rolling through Hyrule Field. That's the way you do it. That's way past cool.
Gotta go fast.
You heal with chili dogs.
What time is it?
Oh god.
Way past cool.
Oh my gosh.
I was about to tell you extra time.
Democracy time.
But yeah, Twilight Princess would be my favorite 3D. Second on the list would probably have to be Tales of Symphonia.
I need to play that. I've heard it's really good.
Yeah, I really love the Tales games. It's a really great,
Instead of Sonic.
really great RPG
Tales.
game where it's like turn-based stuff, like a lot of the Final Fantasies or like Pokemon or anything like that. I'm like, okay, whatever, but I like being in the action on my own pace. And Tales of Symphonia and all the other Tales games, they do that thing where you go into, like, the fight scene. You don't just fight willy-nilly. You go into the scene, there's, like, this giant arena that everybody has to stay in that boundary, and they fight each other, and you can use your moves whenever you want.
I do like things like that, because what I'm thinking is Final Fantasy IX used to be in my top 5 lists, because I loved the story and everything about it. It's all based on identity through objects, and Shakespearean plays. The game starts with a play and ends with a play. There are characters named after Shakespearean characters. I mean, one of the first characters you meet in the game is called Puck. You know, Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah.
But I love that game. I love that game's story. I hate the combat system. And I hate that in a lot of Final Fantasy and Japanese RPG games where you're just wandering around and then there's a random encounter. You're exploring the area about ready to pull a lever to activate the thing to go to the other thing, and then suddenly spiral screen and and then like it punishes you for wanting to run away usually.
Wild Charizard appears.
Oh,
Oh, that would be awesome.
Charizard.
Just random Charizard.
Charizard.
Okay.
So second would be Tales of Symphonia. I think as far as
God, we're only on 2.
Yeah. Well, you keep interrupting me, sir. But as far as it goes, like, I've played Tales of Vesperia, which...
Asparagus.
Tales of Asparagus.
Exactly what I thought.
Oh, man.
Vesperia.
That game sounds like a good...
They have interesting names. But,
The game makes it sound like your piss is going to smell bad.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
maybe. But I think Symphonia does their characters and story and combat style and customization style for everything really well, because you can, like, in all the games you can, well, not all of them, almost all of them, you can give your characters, all the characters, a title. So it's like this person, the, you know, Eternal Swordsman or whatever kind of thing.
Sure, badass. I'm badassington.
Yeah, pretty much. But in Symphonia, when you put that title on a person, it'll show, like, stats that when they level up, that stat will increase more than the others, which I think is really cool, because it's like you can have them focus on this more, and the other ones is just like, it's a title, and no one's ever going to see it. Third on my list, I'd have to say Dr. Mario. Yeah, because it's the first game I ever played, and it really established my love for puzzle games. So, like, I love Zelda because it has puzzles in it, but I also just love puzzle games in general, like Tetris and...
My favorite Zelda puzzle is look around the room and shoot the eyeball.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Man, that's such a puzzle.
The classic Zelda puzzle, for me, where they have the 3 blocks, and it's like, there's 3 blocks standing beside each other in a line. All you gotta do is push 2 of them forward on the outside, and then push the middle one either to the left or right, and that's it.
I like, I think it was Awkward Zombie did a comic about, in Wind Waker, getting the Master Sword, you have to push the Triforce pieces to match the Triforce.
Oh, yeah, in Wind Waker.
Yeah, and, it's like, how did Ganon not get the sword? That's all that was standing between getting the sword and everything. It's just pushing some blocks slightly.
Well,
and there was just a picture of Ganon, like, looking at the blocks scattered across the room. And then the picture of the Triforce on the floor is just like, why does everything have to be so hard?
Yeah, I mean...
So is that really a common puzzle, just pushing the block?
Yeah, it's
in the top down
every
ones.
single one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's usually not... It's usually in the early games or just finding, like, treasure chests.
It's definitely in every single one. At
yeah,
least
at
once.
some point, yeah.
It's like, really? I'm always like, how do I do this? And I
It's
just
a good
sit there for a few seconds.
introductory block pushing puzzle. I mean, unless you see it in, like, end game, that's when it's kind of annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a great, like, opening block pushing puzzle.
Yeah, I always get stuck on the block pushing puzzles where it's like on ice or something, where it's like really slippery. When you push
Twilight
it, it goes
Princess.
all the way until it hits the wall.
Twilight Princess had one in the Ice Palace or whatever.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
The Snowhead Mansion Temple.
Snowhead? That sounds like a Mario level.
Snowhead.
Wait.
Let's
Snow
go.
Peak. It was Snow Peak, not Snowhead. Snow Peak. But yeah, third definitely Dr. Mario.
Oh my god, we're still on 3.
I was just reiterating.
I know. Get to 4.
Number 4 would be Resident Evil 4.
That is a good one. That used to be on my top 5.
Oh, why not 5? 5 was so good.
That's that. I mean, 5. I love that they added co-op.
I'm not going to discredit you for that.
Thing is, I've only played 5.
I've only played 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed 5.
I played a little bit of 2.
I played all
I feel
of them.
like I have to
mean,
play the other ones.
I just never had access to all of them.
Well,
Yeah.
Eventually, somewhere I was able to play them, but I think 4 is definitely the best in my opinion as far as keeping that classic, scary survival feel without being like an action game like 6.
Yeah, I Resident Evil 4 has a lot of really great balancing moments and like rising and falling action.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid hedge maze.
And people like always complain about how in that game and like all the other older games, when you had to shoot, you had to stand still.
But the game's built around it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I mean, realistically, you could walk around and shoot at the same time, which they're doing in their newer stuff now, which I'm okay with. But that keeps you like on your feet and more.
It makes
worried.
you have to plan like this. Metal Gear Solid has a tendency to have really weird controls for combat. And the reason behind that is you're not supposed to be able to plow through all the enemies. You're supposed to sneak around. And it's supposed to be difficult around that, so it's built around it. And if it's built around it and it's purposeful, it works. It's when it's an arbitrary decision in how you use your controls that games start to fall apart. So I hated that Resident Evil 4 when I first started playing it, and then after playing it for like a half hour, I fell in love with it. Especially, I love the castle. It's so cheesy and stupid, but it has all these perfect moments in it.
Mm-hmm.
And what's number 5?
I'd have to say Earthbound.
I have not played Earthbound, and I refuse to emulate it because I collect Super Nintendo games, and I am going to find a copy of the Earthbound game. I've actually seen like 8 copies. I just never bought them while I was there.
I don't think I've played any of your top 5s either.
Wow.
And this is why we need to start that Let's Play show.
I own all the games.
Mostly just to get you, mostly just to motivate us to make you play these games.
Yes.
All right. So we've talked about nonsense for long enough. It's about time we get to the name of our show, the game of the month, which is a game
Earthbound,
which is a game called Peacekeepers. It was free on Newgrounds, probably Armor Games, and the internet as a web-based browser.
It's actually
game.
called The Peacekeeper.
The Peacekeeper. Oh,
there's only one.
Okay,
that's you.
And then the iPad version, which I actually very much enjoy.
Oh yeah.
Again, it felt intuitive to play it. Mm-hmm. The game is a rail shooter. You're locked into a up-down axis.
It's like a point-and-click rail shooter, I guess.
Yeah, but it's still a rail shooter. I mean, when you go to the arcade and they have that whole thing where you're on a path and things just appear to shoot, that's a rail shooter.
Yeah, it's a rail shooter, but it's not like
Space Invaders is a rail shooter.
Yeah, it's not like Space Invaders and Galaga where you move totally and only shoot forward. Like this one, there's only like 3 spots on a rail, and
remain in the trench.
Yeah, you point and click with the mouse which direction you're shooting in.
Or your finger.
Or your finger.
With the iPad version. I mean, I guess you could use a mouse if you wanted to.
I didn't try the iPad version out.
Smack the mouse.
So in the game, you play as a knight or a peacekeeper protecting your peace.
Peacekeeper.
You play as the peacekeeper. Everybody knows.
It's hard to define these characters because they're all like suits of armor, but they have fire.
They did give them
firearms.
Certain names, like it's Fred or something, as like the dopey enemy.
They all had little personalities and stuff like that. I love
that was a nice touch to it.
The axe guys are always like crazed and like, suck my axe.
All the axe puns.
Oh, it's nothing but axe pun. Let me axe you a question.
Oh yeah.
So the game revolves mostly around the enemies, changing the pace of battle. So the first enemy is he just walks up and he shoots one bullet every few seconds towards where you are, and those bullets can only hurt you if you're popped up out of the trench, which only happens when you're shooting.
Right.
Which I like that, and so there is kind of and then they throw things in there that make you stop being able to do that. So the next enemy they throw in is the axe enemy, who runs up right to the front of the trench and throws axes into the trench. So you can't just sit there and pop up every so often.
They're the biggest jerks.
Yeah, they really are.
And they're introduced in the second level.
Well, I mean, they needed to be.
Oh yeah, I know.
In my opinion, because they have 2 other enemies who actually go into the trench. No, there's the
flamethrower guy.
There's a flamethrower who completely cuts off one of your 3 spots until you kill him.
There's the one
And-
who like
and the
shoots.
bomb guys.
Bomb guys run. They're suicide bombers who run straight into the trench and deal massive amounts of
I
damage.
hate them the most because it's
potatoes.
always like when they were like, oh, there's bomb guys on the level that they introduced them. I never saw one the whole level. Like it was no bomb guys at all, and I'm like, okay, I guess there's bomb guys somewhere. But then eventually, when it got a lot harder and there were more enemies, they would always come when I couldn't shoot them because like the guys in front of them that were already there,
Yeah.
I was hitting them first, so I couldn't hit the bomb guy, and
I was threw
always
a
got
grenade.
killed.
I always threw a grenade at that moment.
Yeah, I usually throw the grenade.
I save my grenades for the axe guys. If there's like a swarm of the axe guys coming in, because I don't like. They're annoying. I mean,
They are,
They
but-
need to be there, but
Same with the
they're
missiles.
So annoying.
There's a character who shoots missiles into a spot and it like
I'm actually-
highlights it.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with him because
yeah,
you get the warning and everything.
The axes was just weird because of a lack of depth.
Mhm.
It was hard to tell depth perception
And
where
the
they were
axe
throwing the
boss.
axe. Yeah.
The axe boss, like I couldn't tell where he was gonna throw those or where they were landing. It was just
would-
sheer luck that I.
The final
Got past
boss in
them.
the game is you fight all three bosses, which I find this interesting. It's a rail shooter with like bosses,
Yeah.
which was a ton of fun.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they were great.
And then the final one is like the boss rush. You fight all three bosses all at once.
Yeah.
and-
After you finish the third boss for the first
Yeah,
time.
and the axe guy, he throws rows of axes, and you just have to move with it,
Take
and
him
it's
out
ridiculous.
first.
Yeah, I took him out first. It,
made the
it was the
mistake.
only way I could.
Yeah, because it kills everybody else, right? It just like kills everyone.
What, killing the axe guy?
Well, when I fought, I remember
The
when
final boss rush, axe one was the one I killed first.
Oh yeah,
And then like the more you kill, the harder they get, like the individual ones.
Mm-hmm.
So taking out the axe guy, if you don't take him out, he just goes
I
crazy.
feel like this game did a really great job of just using the enemies.
Oh, yeah.
Because enemies in a rail shooter are the most interesting part, and in a lot of games, it's
Right.
the most interesting part. It's more interesting than your hero usually.
yeah. You just there's not a lot physically that changes on him, or even like his abilities. You can get a couple new abilities.
Yeah, you can
But the rest is
upgrade
just upgrading what you already
your
have.
mags, like how much you can fire at one time. The power of your shots,
The pushback.
the pushback,
I didn't
which
find the
nev-
pushback was
pushback
very.
never really helped, except for
Yeah, I
axes,
never bought
and
it.
that's it. And I never did it. The how much money you get from killing things.
Which is
Uh-huh.
important.
Spread. Which one am I forgetting?
How
Oh,
much
health.
Health. Yeah.
Especially the EMP.
So the EMP is a power up.
Oh, yeah,
that you
those are
get, and you can
power-ups.
put ranks in like there are little achievements in the game, which were great motivators. Like the alien spaceship and Space Invaders. It broke up the monotony and it gave you a goal to do. Use 6 grenades or kill 6 things
those
with one
things, yeah.
grenade. And it gave you goals while you're just shooting things, and
Yeah.
it broke up the monotony. That's like using achievements really well.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that when games use achievements like that instead of just being like, you completed the first chapter, whatever. I'm like, okay, thanks. I
Plus
already
you-
knew that.
Plus, you got like rewards for it. But the only thing I didn't
Yeah.
like was once you got those in one game, if you started another game, all of those achievements were already got, so you can't get the reward
Yeah,
or anything for them.
That
Mhm.
was
So I feel like that's kind of essential to add that
was
into
kind of
every
broken.
new
Yeah.
game.
And then I actually kind of played, and Colin, you followed after, I believe. Like I played my own version of hard mode,
Yeah.
where I didn't
Haven't beaten
buy
that.
any upgrades at all until I was
Except for
able
the
to do well, except for the money, so I could just get a whole bunch of money at the end of the game and upgrade whatever I wanted. And all I ended up upgrading was the spread, which dominated.
The spread
Once
is
I got the
beautiful.
spread, the first time I played this game, I was upgrading things as I went along, and I got power and things like that, and my spread was pretty low at the end of the game because I didn't even know I was getting until that point, and it wasn't great. Now I'm dominating on the game because I put everything into spread, and I kill everything, even though my power level is like only like 3.
It's all the bullets like at once.
Yeah,
you know?
it just destroys everything, and it reloads so fast that I just cover the entire screen with one shot.
Yeah.
Just tap it, let it recharge, and I just kill everything on screen. And when they introduce the spread, they introduce the shield enemy to kind of put a dampening to that. But almost always, there's only
Yeah.
1 or 2 shields on the screen.
And you can blow them up with grenades.
Yeah, and they don't
Usually
Yeah.
one hit.
they don't change it enough. They block some enemies behind them, but because they're the same size as every other enemy, they don't really.
They block one enemy.
Yeah, they don't defend anyone. I think they needed to be bigger, or they needed to come in
More.
But yeah, it didn't need to just be one. It needed to be like 3 that would block up certain areas. Because then it would have made it more difficult. I've heard people get to like level 95. Level 30, I believe, is like the end of the game or something.
Technical end, but you can keep going.
You can keep going endless round and get all the upgrades. Someone got to like level 95, and it just instantly starts with like 40 people coming in all at once.
That does not surprise me at all.
Yeah. That
Also,
sounds
I am not
accurate.
clear what the enemies are because they get a virus, and then when you kill them, they explode with blood and guts,
They could be.
and they have like
cyborgs.
they have like Cylon eyes.
Cyborgs.
That's all I can think of. But I mean, there's a lot of humor to the game.
Yeah.
It might be playing off of that. So what are you gonna do with all the piece when you get it? Oh, I'm gonna make a statue out of solid piece.
Yeah, the guy's like, I remember the guy that was talking about his family. He was like, I don't know, get myself some peace. Go settle somewhere nice with the wife and kids.
Peace off, you hooligans.
Yeah.
My favorite guy was like the one that was like, guys, you do realize that's not how peace works.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
And then there was, why don't we just, why are we even doing this? He seems like a pretty peaceful guy. Yeah, we got to get some of his peace. Well, why don't we just ask him? And then, the peacekeeper just responds, peace off, you hooligans!
Yeah.
And, you immediately just start shooting them.
Mhm.
And the game ends with, him, narrating, about a sunset and them all leaving. It's, the last thing is, we're still here, right?
Yeah.
They never actually left.
Yeah, I really liked the humor of this game.
Oh yeah.
The enemy
very fun.
design was really great. This studio, Berserk, I'm trying to think of some other games they've done because I've played them. It's hard to forget their opening logo where
Yeah.
the guy opens up.
I remember I've played a few. I think one of them was one of those sort of generic, shoot the thing and hopefully it gets far enough and you get points and then you spend
See
the
what I
points
mean.
on things and shoot
Shoot the
again
thing.
and try to get, the furthest.
These are in the
Can,
works.
can we make a game called Shoot the Thing?
Shoot the thing. That could work.
Things we've done.
So we're looking up some of the games they've done right now. Wow,
I'm trying to find
Is there,
some
like, a
things
female
that I
peacekeeper?
actually know.
So I recognize Peacekeeper.
Um,
SkyQuest.
SkyQuest.
this I don't think this is everything, but
Yeah, maybe they've worked on some games or been producer or something because I know I've played other games by them.
Maybe I'm mistaken.
Okay, they have.
Oh, I've played Kick the Critter.
Okay.
And I played I played they did a game that is a tower defense where you go around as a monster killing stuff while setting traps. I believe that's
I
it.
played Berserk Ball.
I really like the word berserk.
I guess so. I wonder why.
Maybe they were inspired by the manga.
Oh yeah.
I swear that's the Japanese Conan the Barbarian.
Berserk.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it.
I mean,
I don't.
I know you're not
manga.
a manga guy.
Manga.
Animu.
Anime.
I recently just started reading Lone Wolf and Cub, which I guess is a really old manga. One of our teachers brought it up, and I was really surprised.
Oh yeah.
It's really interesting because most manga and comic books, manga specifically, they usually only use white, gray, black, and it's clean lines. This one has painterly brush strokes. I'm starting to think maybe I need to look into it. It might have been actually hand painted with ink.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's a really early manga, I think it was written in the 60s. Don't quote me on this.
Which one?
Lone Wolf and Cub.
I'm quoting you on it.
I don't. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm on page 20.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm really getting into it. It wasn't loading. I just haven't had time to read it.
What were you wondering about?
When it came out.
When it came out.
According to Wikipedia, it was September 1970.
Yeah, still pretty old. I mean, that's before Akira and all
Mhm.
that. And as everybody, or a lot of people who know me, I absolutely love Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
I will rant about Ghost in the Shell and how much I love it for hours. Same with Cowboy Bebop and Full Metal Alchemist. Those are my top 3. But back to Peacekeeper.
Yeah, back to Peacekeeper.
Sorry.
talking about
See,
anime.
I was starting to rant about it. You guys, don't let me do that.
Okay, Bobby, shut up.
I'd go to the corner, but I'm already there.
Oh yeah.
One thing.
This whole room's a corner.
One thing I think I noticed because I started playing the the internet version, the computer version. Then I switched over to the iPad one. I never beat the internet one, online one, but I think the enemies are a little faster on the iPad version
It seemed like it.
because I noticed a
It
very
might also load better.
well. The thing is, like, I noticed, especially with the knife guys, like the axe guys, when they approached on the computer version, it took them a second to start throwing.
Yeah.
But then on the iPad, it was like they walked up there and immediately started throwing. So I was sort of like surprised at first.
I think I noticed a glitch in the iPad version compared
Really?
to the web browser, because when you kill the shotgun enemies where they shoot the big blasts,
Yeah.
when you kill them, the gun changes. It's not their gun. It's
like
the
the
rocket
flamethrower
launcher.
or
Yeah, it's like
something
the
like that.
flamethrower that flies up.
that actually happened
I
quite a
noticed.
bit. I
And
noticed.
also, it's pretty good vector-based art.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
the way that they all move.
I was admiring that, like, when you... Because I was watching my character at the very beginning because I knew it would be easier. And it's just, like, the way he moved... Yeah, the roll... I'm like, I can't tell what's happening when he rolls. Yeah, bloop.
He's just like tripping every single time. I meant to do that.
He just, like,
His shoelaces are undone.
contorts himself, and then he's just there.
Peace off, you hooligans.
But yeah, like, the way he moves his upper torso and then, like, his arms and everything like that, it looks pretty good.
I like that he was a knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how
He,
they're all
he was
knights.
yeah.
With
Well,
guns.
the enemies have like Cylon eyes,
Uh-huh.
which is why, like, are they like cyborgs? Are they robots? One of them gets a virus, like a porn virus.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. There's like a pixelated naked lady.
Send
like,
the
you
keys
can't
to
even
my
tell.
Nigerian prince.
Send all my friends.
His icon becomes like the lady, but it was like all fuzzy
Yeah,
and
oh
like
my God.
distorted and
I-
stuff. The viruses.
Peace off, you hooligans. I swear, like, I loved that. What are you gonna do with all your peace?
Yeah.
Give us your peace.
One thing
Great social commentary.
I know, like, it's a free game, so advertisements, but the advertisements were horrible. As in, they popped up mid-game, like,
Yeah.
while I was playing, and it didn't pause the game, so I would, like, go
Tap
to
it,
tab
and it
to
would-
shoot, and then, like, hey, advertisement, and then take
would-
me to, like, the page. And
Hey,
I'm like, no!
we gave them money by doing that.
You just screw those guys.
Yeah, no, it was really annoying. The way it's implemented in the iPad version, it was because it's like supposed to only come up when you go to the upgrade screen.
Yeah, well,
But sometimes if you went to the upgrade screen and went back to the game too fast, it would pop up in the game instead.
it did it mid-game for me, though.
Really?
Yeah, like, it didn't even wait. It, like, the first time I played it, because, I started again with the hardcore stuff, like, not, and especially with, like, no upgrades, you need to, like, have your shots and everything, and it only did it during that campaign, which,
Was this on the iPad?
yes, only on the iPad, and,
Yeah.
like, and I've died so many times just because of that.
I really like the iPad version, but I'm sure you ran into the same issue where you're trying to play it and your hand blocks
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Plus
it was
moving up and down, like,
Yeah,
sometimes I would tap
if I was
one
sitting
direction,
at a
it would go in a
desk-
different one.
If I was sitting at a desk, it was really easy to play.
Mhm.
If I was lying in bed or lying down, it was like impossible. I would have to rest it on my knees and play with like both my index fingers rather than hold it with my thumbs. You couldn't play it with your thumbs, in my opinion. It slowed down all your reaction times, and the whole game is built around reaction times. And I think they did. It's just a port of the HTML5 game. Or HTML, or just the web browser game. I don't know if it's HTML.
Oh yeah, the one bonus, the bonus crate, which
The
is technically
pacificator or
Yeah,
something
I
like
don't.
piece.
The
It's not a bonus at all.
because if you failed it, I always just fired it off as quick as I could. I didn't try to save the bullets and kill as
Yeah,
many things
but
as
as
possible.
soon as you get it, huge waves of people
It's supposed to
come
give
in
you
and
points and kills and everything. I would just fire it as fast as I could so I could get rid of it. 'Cause
I
it would
wouldn't even
usually-
shoot it.
How-
I would try not to shoot it at least, but I would always end up having.
Yeah, you would have to. So I just I just held down the button until it was gone,
Mhm.
because as soon as it's gone, the big waves stop coming in.
It's just that's one of the only one of the few.
What are you gonna
problems
do
there.
with all the peace? You
You
know,
know.
when we get out of here.
I don't know, man. Maybe the wife and I can settle down somewhere in the country. Start a family, get a dog. The life, you know? You?
I'll build a 10-foot tall statue of myself out of solid peace. Peace off the country. I want that too. Oh, I rode your part. We could be gods. And then
So
you immediately
funny.
get into battle.
Yeah.
A direct
Dun, dun,
quote.
dun.
Austin's playing the game right now. So.
Yep. Just to see if there's anything that people need to bring up while it's here. We're looking at it.
Oh, their death animations. I love the flopping.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're just like...
And then they explode into blood and little gore.
I like the health pack. The health pack.
Yeah.
Because at
That's
first,
smart.
when I started playing, I'm like, man, I don't need this, you know?
I never
just-
used EMP.
I used it every
Yeah,
once in a while
EP.
when there was like just huge crowds.
It was nice to give you a little breather.
Yeah.
But I don't
But I
think
didn't do it
enough.
Especially with the red guys. The red guys with their just
Yeah,
constant
when they
full-
swarm you.
Yeah.
Red enemies come in, and instead of shooting towards the player, they shoot down a row as a machine gun for like 2 seconds.
Sometimes, like, they weren't even on one of the 3 spaces that you can sit in.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you'd be in between. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that was hilarious.
They would
shot 'em.
eventually move there sometimes, but
Yeah.
it was really funny.
I really liked how during one of the cutscenes in between, they're like, yeah, and that guy, you know, the red guys, they just shoot forward. They don't even aim. And he's like, yeah, hey, stop, guys. It's a medical problem.
here's a
Shut
red
up! I have a
guy now.
condition.
Yeah, it was like that. Have a condition.
Hey, Earl. Ready to get peaceful up in here?
Harold, what's up?
What the peace?
Where did you get that armor? I know, right?
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Super comfy, blah, blah, blah.
Blah 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 blah.
Oh,
blah.
they're literally saying blah, blah, blah.
Wait. Okay. I thought that was because you were skipping through it fast enough. I would love to do that in a game. Like when you skip through the text, it literally just translates to blah 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 blah.
I
blah.
definitely played something where they did that, but I don't remember what it was.
Anyway.
Super blah 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 brothers.
Yeah, maybe.
Just skip the title every time.
Super blah, blah, blah.
Nah.
Like old NES and Super Nintendo games where like their jaws just push like
The pedal bin.
Yeah. Just like 1 pixel open, close. Like a Muppet. At least they're not like Lamb Chop, where like you see the thumb.
Could you?
Oh, a lot of the times it was like a sock puppet.
Yeah.
Dude.
So you would see the thumb and it would go.
I never. I mean, I watched the show when I was young. I haven't seen it in such a long time. I don't remember
I have never really seen the show. I
So,
just
Me either.
my mom told me about it. I've seen pictures, and then I saw a poster at a shop, and it just made me laugh because I had that whole thumb thing where it's like
Oh,
off to the
jeez.
side.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, I guess we will wrap this up. Oh, we should probably announce the next game. So the next game we're playing, we're mixing it up. Because the first game we did was Phenotopia, and it was a really big game.
Yeah.
And we've been doing some small things.
Mhm.
We're going to do another free game. It's free on Steam.
Steam.
Steam. All hail game.
PC Master Race.
So the game is free on Steam. It is called Alien Swarm. It is a co-op top-down like alien survivor shooter game. It's similar to like a class-based system like TF2. I remember I played it a lot when it first came out, when I had a clan, like a gaming clan, and then we all disbanded when we got jobs.
Oh, yeah.
Don't need you guys. I got money now.
We also fused with like another clan, and then that one collapsed. So
Yeah,
it was a weird kind of thing. We were like
We bought them out and forced
were
them
out.
to quit.
That's pretty
Company
much what
merger.
happened. And it happened like we had a server for Counter-Strike, and I finally got a computer that could run Counter-Strike Source, and then everybody left,
Yeah.
and we lost the server, and I was like, oh oh bother. So we're playing that game, and a side game, I don't know if we'll get to it, but it's very similar, is a game called Outpost. It is a Flash game, or a web-based browser game. It's another top-down alien survivor. It's not co-op, but it's similar in the feel, in my opinion. I remember playing it a long time ago, and I took it as inspiration for a game I'm working on. And I think it would be interesting to compare them, because they're top-down, shoot the alien games, and survive in a semi-survival horror environment. One's single player, one's multiplayer. How does that change everything?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, signing off, I am Robert Lauer. I am a sophomore at the Cleveland Institute of Art.
Exactly what he said, except the Robert Lauer part. I'm
Oh.
Austin Haller.
I'm Colin Wolf, and I'm itchy.
It's pretty hot in here.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Better take off my shirt.
I'm gonna keep my teal on.
Fuck you. All right. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.